And so when we can, we want to do things like, you know, deliver them to some place that someone's going to be home, because people are doing that. They're just looking for opportunities. That's a great thing about the holidays, is that opportunity where more and more packages are left on doorsteps, right? Because they know presents are coming.
There was something on the news this morning while I was getting ready. Now I missed it completely. An officer's wife was getting packages.
Oh, really?
I don't know where it was.
What do you mean? She was stealing them?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Just the thing you need, right?
Yeah.
I thought, my goodness.
All right, magic word is ugly Christmas sweaters, by the way.
Okay.
That's the magic word. And then I want to give away a $50 gift card Saturday. We're going to do a drawing for the first 100
For blood.
and then give away a 4-pack to one of them. Hey, Sharavius,
Ugly Christmas sweaters.
do you know what 4-packs we have left? Is he in there? Yeah, he's in there.
I don't think.
Yeah, so.
I don't think.
Sharavius. Are you aware?
Okay. Okay, thank you. Perfect. Hey, put your headset on. Can you hear that, Luke? That's one of the, this is the inventory commercial. You can't hear it?
I can't hear it. Can y'all?
What? Hear what?
You can't hear the commercial in there?
The
Yes,
commercial.
yes. I can hear the commercial.
Yeah.
That's the inventory commercial.
Or the inventory commercial.
Inventory commercial. Okay, I'm with you now.
So if you decided next month, because you wanted to sell show cattle or what have you, and we need to change the commercial, because we need to be pointed about what we're doing with it. If your intention is to try and sell show cattle or start selling in January and February,
Have it on that commercial.
well, if that's what you want to do, but we need to make sure we write it to where it's very, very pointed to what you're wanting to do.
Okay.
You know, it's like, show seasons is above us, and if you're buying cows, now's something like that. Now's the time to do it, so we can get ready for Dallas or Fort Worth next year. So plan now.
I'm with
All
you.
right, here we go. Boy, I'll tell you what, Dr. B, there's no better way to start opening those eyes up as you're listening to Dr. B and JP on the air. You're probably in your bathroom putting your eyeliner on. Dr. B, do you do that?
I don't think the eyeliner would.
Don't think that.
I'd be like that commercial where the lady's on the plane putting her lipstick on, it's all over, that. No, I'll pass on that.
You'll pass on that today. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, good morning and welcome back to On Point with JP and Dr. B. In studio, we have Officer Beyond with us from Plano PD. We are talking crime prevention and community relations at the same time. We're trying to help you figure out how to not become a victim of a holiday crime. And I'll tell you, probably an Officer Beyond, you can pipe in and tell me I'm wrong, which would be fine on this. But I think the biggest mistake you can make, which I think would open you up to becoming a victim during the holiday season, especially with as many people that are out and about, the malls are packed, the stores are packed, is to believe you can't become a victim.
Oh, absolutely. I thought that's where I really would like to start, is to understand that anybody can become a victim. How often do you watch a show on television, they say, things like this don't happen here. They always say that.
They always say, well, we got to get you to move here,
So crime happens everywhere. So
yeah. So and let's talk about, when I'm doing the jail, I do a lot of arraignments, every other month. In fact, I've got the jail, and I start seeing an increase, especially out around that Allen Premium Outlet Mall. I start seeing an increase in organized retail theft and retail crime. What is that?
Big business, I'll tell you. That's what that is. Lots of people target this, and they go out to these retail places to commit theft, and they're very organized in how they do it. They come in and they specific, depends on what they're looking for. Some specialize in perfume, others specialize in women's purses, but it is a big hit to businesses, and so there are people out there who specifically target that.
And when we talk about that, I mean, is it one person? Is it two people? Is it three people? I mean, what are you generally seeing with something like that?
Well, often there's people who are maybe, it could be 3 or 6 people who walk in to target a business, But as far as how many people, it could be a very large organized gang, but there may be just a half a dozen going into any particular business any given time.
And so when they come in like that, is it to distract the clerk so that they're busy with another customer and then they can steal the things, or how do they do that?
Well, they do both. A lot of crimes are crimes of opportunities. If they're going in for the business, they might be going in to go after the merchandise and do exactly that, distract the clerks and just load things up. You hear about them loading things up in a basket and then just running out the door to an awaiting car. Other times, they're actually targeting individuals. And so you have to be really aware of you need to be aware of anyone who comes up to approach you and start to engage you in conversation. We've seen time and again when someone does that, and what they're really doing is distracting you from that cart where your purse is sitting, and then they take out your billfold, and you don't even realize it happened because you were just trying to be helpful. They might come up and ask you about a product and draw your attention. You turn toward them, and someone else comes up unknowing to you and removes something out of your cart. So you have to pay attention.
Yeah, so this is, and it can happen very quickly as well.
Oh.
With them doing it, and you're complete, because we're so helpful, right? So,
Absolutely.
another thing, and this may be a little bit off, but I'm thinking, where do they sell this? And, if people didn't buy these stolen goods, they wouldn't be profitable. How does that handle?
Well, I'm sure they sell them in all different types. You've heard, we think about them selling them at pawn shops, but now today in social media, going up and selling on eBay and all the different places they could sell items, it could be any numerous different outlets.
So how could a consumer protect themselves? If they went on Craigslist, eBay, whatever, and how could they protect themselves from not buying stolen merchandise?
You're hearing another danger, not only stolen merchandise, the other danger is where something sounds too good to be true. You're buying a really nice laptop at a very crazy price. Well, you might just become a victim of a robbery. So you show up to buy the laptop and they pull out a gun. This happens time and again. So you see a lot of times law enforcement agencies are offering their parking lot or their lobby to come and exchange that to make that exchange. And they're saying if someone is not willing to come to the police station, probably should be a red flag.
Absolutely. I had read that just the other day that, I don't know if Plano is doing that, but some police station I read was doing that, where you could come, because so many of those, you just can't trust. They look good, but it's not worth the price, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing you need to be aware of is just, I mentioned earlier about being aware of your surroundings, but when you're walking, especially what I call transitions, when you're walking from a vehicle to a location, from a store back to your vehicle, you really need to be aware of your surroundings. And we've had people that drive up in a vehicle, and there's a person walking up, and they has their purse maybe over their shoulder, and the car is driving past them. The passenger's hanging out of the window and just grabs the straps of the purse. Unfortunately, we had an elderly lady in Plano who was dragged on the concrete behind the vehicle, and very lucky that she didn't end up under those wheels and severely injured. She was injured, but it could have been much, much worse. So think about that. If you're a lady and you're walking with your purse and you're walking up, say, by these cars, probably the safer place would have the purse on the side that's closest to the car, so someone can't pull up and drive past you and grab it. So think of things like that, and again, always be aware of your surroundings.
Well, and let's not talk about just being aware of your surroundings, because what happens when you go to a restaurant?
Oh, yeah.
And you see these women that will put their purses or satchels on the back of chairs. I mean, is that safe? Are you safe because you're in a busy restaurant and everybody's paying attention to you?
You absolutely can. Ladies, listen, ladies, if you're a lady out there, you can no longer put your purse strapped to the back of your chair. We have seen videotape footage where people were caught on tape where they reached behind and took out the billfold, and they weren't even aware. Even though they had 4 people at the table, no one saw the person do it. You just can't do that. You have to, they've got one of those things you can put where it hangs your purse right next to you off of the table or on your lap. You have to have care, control, and custody of that purse at all times.
Now, when we're talking about that, there was a movie that Will Smith did. I think it was called Focus. Was it
Yes.
not called Focus? And you talk about unbelievable. I mean, they had a team of, I can't remember, 4 or 5 or 6 people, and they would use this technique that you're talking about, this distraction technique, where one person might bump you or start you talking, the next person would walk right by you, and your wallet was gone in less than 3 or 4 seconds. Does that really happen, or is that just movies?
No, it really does happen. There are people that are really good. That's what they do. They're professional pickpockets, and they're really good at what they do. And I carry I carry my cash, and most of the time I don't have cash, but I carry usually a driver's license, one debit card, one credit card in my front pocket. If you're going to pickpocket me, you have to go around underneath my gun into my pocket to get there.
And if I'm feeling the gun, Dr. B, I think I'm moving on.
I think I like that 3 C's: the care, control, and custody. And it's not only persons; it's about everything.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a great.
Oh yeah,
acronym.
great acronym. The 3 C's. Well, you got to be careful you don't get confused with Roosevelt's 3 C's. Oh, sorry, my bad. My bad. Too early in the morning for that much history, right?
Oh my.
Too early in the morning for that much history. Well, what are the police departments locally doing? And I'm talking Dallas, Plano, because I know all you guys do talk as well. You all have liaisons. You guys all put together a plan for them. I know there's a crime prevention unit for the Metroplex even, where everybody talks. What do you guys do during the holiday season to protect the citizens in the area from these kinds of crimes?
Well, knowing that this is a increased time of year, we are going to increase our patrols. We're going to get more officers in the parking lots. We also have what's called the Skywatch towers, and you've seen those little boxes that go up in the air. They have cameras mounted on there, and we usually put those in parking lots where you have high traffic, usually along the highways, because that tends to be a place where we see a lot of, when you look at the maps of where the burglary of motor vehicles are taking place, a lot of times it's along those where people jump in there to the restaurants and things along the highway. And so we are going to up our patrols, and we're going to deploy our Skywatch towers more frequently.
Now, do the stores do a lot of hiring of off-duty officers to dress in plain clothes and walk around and play like they're a customer, but really what the store is doing is protecting their assets?
Yes, they do both. They have uniformed officers that they hire, and they hire officers who are in plain clothes for that very reason. And they also have their own loss prevention people who are there. I was surprised the first time when I became a new officer and I went and picked up a shoplifter in custody, to walk into one of these major chains and realize, they have a whole room dedicated with all these monitors and people watching people on cameras.
Wow. Where can people find tips, crime prevention tips? Where can they find them this holiday season?
Well, if you go to your local law enforcement agency, like planopolice.org, we have a crime prevention tips there, and most of your law enforcement agencies will have a crime prevention tips. If not, come to our website, planopolice.org.
Perfect. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm excited, Dr. B. I feel protected as we speak.
Absolutely, and great ideas, great awareness that we have now. No excuse for us.
No
right?
excuse, by golly, no excuse at all. Well, Officer, be honest, thank you so much for joining us here this morning with On Point with JP and Dr. B. You have a great Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and for all those folks out there celebrating Hanukkah or other traditions, have a happy holiday season for sure. And thank you for helping us make us safer.
Thank you.
All right, well, folks, stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to have the traffic. We're going to inspire you with Lori. Then we're going to inspire you with real people, real stories with Luke James. That, by God, if you have a dream in high school or if you're involved in something and you love it and you want to make a go at it, we're going to tell you how to do it because Luke James has done just that. So stay tuned. Join us back at 6:20 a.m. KEXP.
Always run out of time before we run out of content. The
Yeah.
big thing, if you have a second, if you're thinking about it, closing off, saying, any closing thoughts? Remember about safety. Remind them of the simple things. Lock your doors, lock your windows at home. So we didn't touch on homes at all. About those packages, if you can't, get them off those porch, have someone watch for them, pick them up, and deliver them someplace else.
Right, right.
I have a question.
You do a really good. I've seen you as a judge. You're good on the radio.
Well, thank you for
kick.
that.
I said you took off. I went, oh man.
Yeah, he's a natural.
You really are.
He's very
I
kind.
am just shocked.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. I'm hoping that maybe one day we can make this a second career. Hopefully.
Fantastic.
Do you recommend people having packages delivered to their back doors, or no?
Never heard that, but
Because people.
the only thing, truthfully, I'm just such a cop. I'm thinking, I don't want that guy snooping around the back. The
Yeah.
delivery guy, then now he's got an opportunity to case your house too. So I would say no. I'd rather have. I think if my neighbor